In this video, I am going to show you how to use OS module functionalities to work with files and folders. So hey guys, this is Vishwet. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So let's get started. So I have already made videos on the OS module. So if you go to my channel's playlist section, so you can see there are many videos on how to work with files. There are more functionalities that are present in the OS module. I'll show them. So I will open my Jupyter notebook. I hope you guys have configured Jupyter notebook in your system. If you have not, I even have a video for that. I will put that video in the I button. So let me show you where I'm currently working. So I am working inside test. Okay, I created a folder over here. So if I open this particular directory, this is the untitled.ipython notebook, which is this particular notebook that I have opened. So now I will show you what are the functionalities that we are going to take a look. The first one I will show you is the absolute path. So I'll take a look what are the files that are present in the current directory. So I have generate files folders .py and untitled.ipython notebook, which is these two particular files that are present. Now inside this, let's suppose let me import OS first. Now once OS is imported, I will find out the absolute path. Okay, absolute path of which particular file. Let's say I want to find the absolute path of this particular file, generate files and folders.py, which is this particular file present over here, right? So if I do os.path.absolute path, and if I just pass the particular file name over here, if I do shift enter, this is the absolute path of the particular file. Okay, and by absolute path I mean the complete path containing the drive letter, containing all the folders that fall into the particular path, including the file. Okay, so this is the complete path, the absolute path of the file. Okay, if I paste this in my file explorer, I should be able to get to this particular file name. Fine. So I just need to remove these extra slashes that are present, and apart from that I will be able to get this particular file. Let's take a demo. Let me open Firefox. If I paste it over here, okay, now you can see we were able to reach to this particular script. So this is the script that is the generate files and folders. If I open this, you can see this both scripts are matching because like they are the same file, right? So this is the absolute path that I pasted, and using that I was able to open this in my file explorer, and in this case I am using Mozilla browser for that. Okay, even Mozilla browser can like open your files in your computer. Not all the files, like it can open text files, like PDF files and few other files. Okay, so this is how you can get the absolute path. Let me close this. So for example, in this absolute path, I want the folder name separate and I want the file name separate. Okay, there might be scenarios where you need to do it, like you want to separate out this particular folder name and you want to separate out this particular file name, right? Many people will use this approach, like they will use rsplit to do it. And let's like do it using the normal way that we might know. So I will just do file path equal to this particular file path. Okay, and if I just do enter, I just save this particular output in this variable. So this is a string, right? This is a string because we have quotes over here. Now if I want to get this part and this part separate, it's pretty simple. So it's like file path dot rsplit, and I will split based upon double backward slash comma max split of 1, and if I just do shift enter, now you can see this particular folder structure got separated and this particular file got separated, right? So we have these two files and folders separated. Now if I just need this particular folder, it's it's pretty simple. Let me copy this whole thing. Okay, and if I just pass 0, so 0 means this will pick up the first element from this list. So if I do shift enter, see this is the first element from the particular list. So this is the directory name, right? Like that, the directory path where our file is contained, And now if I just do one over here, this is the file name, right? So like we can, like generally we do it in this way, like max split, art split, we use art split upon a particular condition or a particular character I should say. Then we use the max split, then we get a list and we slice it. Okay, so there is a lot of things that goes on, right? But using the OS module we can do it like in a very easier way. So I'll show you that. So for example, if I need to get the file like the file directory path, only this path, like this one, if I want to get this, instead of doing so many things, I can do os.path.dir name. Okay, and I will pass this whole path into it. Okay, this whole path, file path into it. So if I just pass it over here, see, this is same as this, right? We are getting the directory, like the directory path, right? Now likewise we can also do os.path dot this will be base name for the file name, and if I pass again the file path, and if I do shift enter, now you can see we are getting the file name, right? So using dir name and base name, we are easily able to get the particular folder, like the folder path and the file name, right? Instead of doing so many things over here. So pretty easy, right? So the next functionality that I'm going to show you is the is directory and is file functionality. So let's suppose you want to verify whether a file exists or not. So how we can check that? So using os.path.is file. Okay, and here you have to pass the particular file name that you want to check. Since we are working in this particular directory, okay, we can pass generate, like we can pass generate files folders.py, and if I do shift enter, it is saying true. Why it is saying? Because this file is present, this generate files and folders.py is present, that's why it is saying true, because it is actually present over here, right? So this is the relative path. Okay, this is the relative path, but we can also pass the absolute path. The absolute path for this particular file name is this, right? So we can also pass the absolute path over here, and this will still work. Okay, so file path contains the absolute path, right? This is the absolute path. We can also do os.path.isFile and we can pass the absolute path over here. Okay, this is the absolute path. So if I do shift enter, see, it's saying true because this particular file is present in this whole path. Simple, right? So definitely you can see using absolute path we will be able to do it. Like sometimes relative path might give some issues, or we might be like we might get confused because we might be having many files and folders. So in that case, definitely absolute path is your friend. Using this os.path.isFile, you can verify whether a file exists or not. Okay, there might be scenarios when you don't want to overwrite a file. Okay, so you can just verify whether a file exists or not. If the particular file exists, do a different set of operations. If the file does not exist, maybe create the particular file. Okay, so let's suppose I want to create a particular file, right? So I will do, like, maybe I will use a functionality, maybe if os.path.isFile, I'll give the file name as new.txt. Okay, new.txt. So if this particular file is not present, so I'll just do over here not. So if this particular file is not present, tell me file not present, creating a new one. Okay, so this will make things little bit clear. So how we create a file? So we will do with open new.txt, and the file mode will be write mode, because we want to create the file as, I don't think I need to pass as, and if I do pass, this particular file will get created. Now if this particular file is not present, Okay, I mean, if this particular file is present, this is the condition when the particular file is not present. Now, if the file is present, just print file is present, present. Okay, file is present, hence not overwriting it. Okay. Let's suppose if I just execute this, okay, you can see new file is not created over here. Now if I execute it, right, now you can see file is not present. What it did, it created a new one. See, new one got created, right? So this particular part of the code got executed. Now if I open this new.txt, there is nothing, it's an empty file. Just wanted to show you. So if now this file is created, right? Now if I execute this again, so what is saying, file is present, hence not overwriting it. So it did not do anything. New.txt is as it is. Now we can verify that. We can write maybe something over here, like we can write as fp, okay, file pointer, and we can write fp.write, and we can pass a string, maybe hello. Okay, so if I just execute this, so it, like, there is nothing present over here, no hello. If I delete this particular file and if I again execute it, now if I open it, you can see hello got like added over here. I should say hello is present in our file. So this is how you can use your particular like is file. So there can be many functionalities that you can use. I am just showing one. So if your file is not present, you can do a different set of functionalities. If it is present, you can do different set of functionalities, right? So if you are working on Python projects, these things will be like very helpful. So the same thing we can do for folders also. Like for example, if I want to make sure whether a folder exists or not, so I can do that also, like os.path.sdir. So here I can pass a folder name. Maybe I can pass a folder name called as cookie. Okay, and if I do shift enter, now it is showing false because cookie is not present over here, right? Cookie is not present. Now I can create a new folder. Okay, if it is not present, I can create a new folder. Creating a new folder is very easy. I have shown this in my OS module. So if this is not present, if the folder name is not present, print folder not present, creating one. Okay, now how we can create folders? Very easy. Using the OS module we can do it. I have shown this previously. So the folder name is cookie. Okay, and I will also write an else part. So I will show folder. Okay, let me type folder is already created. Fine. Now if I do shift enter, now see, it's saying folder not present, creating one, and it created cookie, right? Now if it is already present, if I execute this again, it is saying folder is already created because it got already created, right? Now let me show you what happens if we don't put these conditions. Okay, so like for example, we have our folders created, right? Like the cookie is already created over here, but like again we are forcing to create the particular folder. Like if I do again do shift enter over here, like we have a folder, still we are forcing. Let's see what happens. So see, it is saying file exists error, cannot create a file when the particular file exists cookie. So it is not able to create the particular folder because it already exists, and it is going to give you a exception for that, right? So definitely you can use if else to handle it, you can use try catch to handle it, but if a folder is already like if it is already present over here, you can't create it. So using these conditions you can check that whether a folder is present or not. Okay, using os.path.sdir you can check whether a folder is present or not. If it is not present, you can create it, which we have done. Okay, if it is present, okay, do different set of operations that you want to do because the folder is created. So these are few of the functionalities that I use a lot of time when using like when building any kind of projects. So definitely I'll add this into my OS modules or like OS modules playlist. So if you have not watched these videos, I do highly recommend you. If you are building any kind of Python projects, the OS module is like important to structurize your files and folders. That's all for this video. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you like this, do press that like button, and that's all. I'll see you in an awesome upcoming programming video.